So dividing fractions are actually quite easy, but it's something that you have to do and you have to practice, and there is something that's a little bit tricky about it. So I'm going to just dive on in, and I'm going to give you an example. 2 1/3 times 3 1/4. And so the first thing is you convert the mixed number to improper fraction. So I get 7/3 times, oh, sorry, I should be dividing, since that's what I'm supposed to be doing here, times 12, 13/4. And now it says KCF. And what the KCF stands for is you keep the first fraction the same. It's supposed to be an arrow. So I keep the 7/3 the same. I change division to multiplication, and then I flip my second fraction. I take the reciprocal. 7 times, and then you multiply. 28/39. That's it. Now, kids usually aren't too interested in as to why, but if a parent's watching this, I'm going to explain why real quick. Let's say you had 6 divided by 3. We could rewrite that as a fraction as 6/3. Everybody knows that that's really 2/1. Well, if I had 6/4 divided by 3/5, I could then rewrite that as 6/4 over 3/5. Well, now I have a fraction over a fraction, but if I multiply my denominator by 5/3, I would have to multiply my numerator by 5/3 because 5/3 over 5/3 is really the same as 1. And when I do that, I get 3 times 5, which is 15, over 5 times 3, which is 15, and 15 over 15 is 1, so really my denominator cancels out. But what am I left with? I'm left with the numerator, which is 6/4, which was my original fraction. I changed my division to multiplication, and I had 3/5, but now I'm multiplying by 5/3, so I flipped that. And you'd get 30/12, which is the same as, well, I'm actually going to simplify this before I convert it back. I recognize that 6 goes into both, so I'm going to divide both by 6. And I'd get 5/2, which is the same as 2 1/2. I'm going to do one more example with you. And if I seem to go fast in these videos, it's because I recognize that they are videos, and you are more than welcome to pause them and rewind and do whatever it is you need to do. Let's say I have a -3 2/3 divided by 4 5/6. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 2 is 11, so I get 11/3, -11/3. I keep, I change, and then 4 times 6 is, oh, well, I'm not going to change quite yet. 4 times 6 is 24, plus 5 is 29 over 6. Now I'm going to keep, I'm going to change, and I'm going to flip. 11 times 6 is 66. And 3 times 29, well, 3 times 30 is 90, so this has to be 87. I do recognize that 3 can go into the numerator, and 3 can go into the denominator. So this is going to become a -22. I'm going to divide both sides, both numerator and denominator by 3. It's going to become a -22 over 29. That's it. That is all. Dividing fractions, good stuff.